Yo, what's up, experts? Back at it on your timeline, invading your algorithm again. Listen, today's episode, is a good one. I got a really good brother on the show, brother Timothy Omar, and just a phenomenal dude, man. And so this is something that you're going to definitely want to, tune in for. Good brother dropping a lot of gems. We talking about a myriad of different topics, from education in the black community to black masculinity to fitness to Malcolm X. And so really, really good show. Y'all settle in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, turn on notifications if you haven't, share it with a friend, family, cousin, the world if you haven't, because it's only gonna get better and better. Let's get to the show. Yo, experts, what's up? It's that time of the week again. I am excited because this this show has a bit of a different format to it. As y'all can see, I don't got the Rode mic in front of me. Week over week, we up in the level of technological savviness. We're up in the level of execution and podcast prowess. And so, man, I'm super excited because this week is also the first week that we live streaming a guest, and we're not going to have someone physically on the couch this week, which I'm excited about. But before we get to that, have you liked? Have you subscribed? Have you shared this podcast with a friend? No, you have not. No, you have not. What's wrong with you? Huh? That sounds angry. Let me dial it back. Let me dial it back. Because we talk about black masculinity, and I don't even want that to be categorized as anything toxic, perceived that way. But listen, you need to subscribe to this channel. I'm asking you. I'm begging you. Subscribe to the channel, man. We getting better every week. A lot of good feedback from previous episodes. And I'm just getting started, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm just getting started. Y'all see this new lighting, don't you, boy? I'm glowing. I'm glowing right now. You feel me? Chocolate. Just milk, just grow. This ain't about me, though. This is about the value of the conversations that we have. This is about the value of and the pedigree of the people that we bring on to have conversations that are really relevant to the world that we live in, really relevant to the experiences of just being a human and navigating the different systems and circumstances and dynamics of family life, fatherhood, manhood, womanhood, grief, to capitalism, all type of stuff. And so you want to subscribe to the channel for that reason. Our tagline is, this show exists to enlighten, educate, and empower every human being to be the expert version of themselves. And so if you are a human, like I am a human, and you want to be the best version of yourself, you should subscribe for that reason alone. On top of the fact that the lighting is amazing and I look good while I'm disseminating this information to you. It's a win-win. It's a win-win for everybody. All right, so listen, with that said, subscribe, like, share, comment, all the good stuff, because today is one of them ones. I know I say it every single week, and I mean it every single week, but today is one of the ones. We got somebody super dope that's on the show today to really kind of unpack a lot of things specific to our community. When I say our community, I'm talking about those who are of the African American descent, and the I would say maybe like some of the more contemporary challenges and topics of conversation that our community is engaged in. I got somebody on the show tonight who is, I think, one, I'm just excited to be able to talk to this brother, because this is someone who I've had the opportunity to be on forums with before, and I got a huge amount of respect for him, what he stands for, what he represents. In my estimation, from everything I know about him and had the opportunity to see from afar and up close and personal, he kind of embodies a good, balanced, healthy, strong modeling of masculinity that isn't overbearing, that isn't toxic and abrasive, but that is flat footed, that is strong, that is felt, and that is powerful. And we need more brothers and more men like him, not just in our community, but in the world, because the world would be a better place if more men like him was walking around. And so he's a family man, he's a professional. I just found out something about his professional career we're going to talk about that's super exciting. A community advocate, a novice comedian. If you go check out some of his social media, rants and antics, a personal trainer, a fitness enthusiast, and an all around good, solid brother. Welcome, bro, to the show, Timothy Omar Ladder. We're going to clear up the last name. But Brother Tim, my guy, thank you, man.
Hey, good evening, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate the invite and the introduction. Introduction
Man,
was great. I appreciate that.
yeah, no, long time overdue. We were kind of joking before we started the live stream, just in terms of, kind of us kind of going back and forth for a few months to make sure the timing was right and the dates
Mm-hmm.
were right. So I'm super excited to have you on, man. Listen, how you doing, bro? Let's start there. Like, how are you? You busy? Like, you a busy dude. I seen you on the news not too long. Well, I seen that you on the news. I didn't see you on the news, but I seen you when you was on the news. How are you? Because I'm sure life is like super busy for you right now.
Man, I'm good, man. Family's good, and as long as family's good, I'm good. Friends are good. Actually, that post that I put up in regards to the news is actually old.
Oh,
Old.
really? Okay,
Oh man,
okay.
it was old, but it was, the month of June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah,
So I put
yeah,
up the video, or I put up the photo, and then had a post in regards to the actual caption in regards to mental health. And I was just speaking about how when you help other people, it helps
hmm
you. So
yeah,
when I was on the news that time, it was actually when I was still in Orlando, and we were trying to get people, or we were asking people to come out to help when we were cleaning up some of the neighborhoods in Orlando.
yeah,
So
yeah,
me and the volunteers that I had, our group, helping others helped us. That was the passion at the time. Clean up the communities, help out the homeless folks.
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
passion, and that really was the purpose at the time. So that was definitely something that helped me with mental health at that time. So
Man, I love that, and I want to talk about that because I've seen that that's something that you're really passionate about, and us just coming off of um, May, which was Mental Health Awareness Month, just as a whole, kind of, what just the nation acknowledges. But you specifically were focusing on mental health for men, and
yeah,
so I've seen you just be kind of kind of having a marching order, I guess, in that sense, in terms of kind of what you were focusing on. But I wanna kind of dig into, because you're someone who is super active, and the reason I have you on here is just for like all of the output in terms of you showing up in the community and the mentorship and all the things that you do. But I think it's important to kind of peel back a little bit and to give, like, I'm always interested in like the wiring of people and how they
mhm,
got where they were, because sometimes, at least in my estimation, like when you see people who are really doing meaningful things, really doing purposeful things, I think maybe the assumption can be had that this person is like some deep philosophical thinker that grew up in like some ivory tower where they were molded in a certain way. And I think it's
mhm.
always really cool to like dig into people's origin story, so that I think people can find some commonality. Like, man, bro grew up like me, or bro, like he's on this mission, but his origin and kind of the engine like behind him is very similar. And so I know when you and I met, it was in Central Florida, Orlando. But tell me, man, where were you originally like from? Like, are you from the islands? I feel like either I've heard something, or you referenced like some type of Bahamian or Caribbean,
Jamaican.
Jamaican,
Yeah.
Jamaican. Okay,
So I was actually born here, but everyone that's older than me is from Jamaica.
okay,
So me, my brother, my sister, we were the first kids that were born in America. Everybody else, uncles, auntie, mom, dad, everybody else in Jamaica. And then some of the kids, obviously under us, born here, and we still have family in Jamaica. have some family in England, got family, everywhere. But
In England, wow. Okay.
yeah, so the background comes from Jamaica. That's where it comes from. That's where we get some of those values from also.
I mean, you beat me to it because like when I this is probably gonna sound very, very, very shallow, but like the closest experiential proximity I have with Jamaicans they're not good. Like they're not positive connections. When I was younger, I used to smoke a lot of weed. We got our weed from the Jamaican that was, this was over 20 years ago, right? And then now older, it's like Jamaican food. I got my guy who, he has his truck and he makes amazing jerk chicken every single
Okay.
Saturday, which I need to get down there and work out with you because it's too much jerk chicken. But what I also kind of gathered from afar is that Jamaicans are very regimented, kind of principled people. Like I've never I haven't run across any like laughing, joking, jovial Jamaicans. Seem like Jamaicans don't really be that like happy and joking and laughing. They always real serious.
They own it. They own whatever they own. They with it.
Right.
Man, but if you ran into my family, oh, everybody think they comedians. Everybody think they funny. You know what I mean? But when it's time to be serious, it's time to be serious. If it's something that we're going towards, we're going towards. But if it's time to joke, oh, we're gonna joke.
Oh
And if
yeah.
you on the other side of the joke, yeah, you may not like us for today, but you you'll like us tomorrow because we're gonna include you on the joke eventually. But yeah,
Even
that's
if you're the butt of it.
oh, if you're the butt of it, you're gonna get it for that day. You go, I done see people cry, really get mad, but then 2 seconds later, we're gonna feed you. And I mean, my grandmama gonna joke on you, my aunties, my uncle, everybody's gonna joke. My niece is gonna joke on you because we're gonna joke on them. So, the way that we were brought up, oh, you getting joked on. And you just got to figure it out. Because
So
people coming for your help. You have that one person in family that's, come on, I got you. But if that person is gone for the day,
everybody on your head.
you gotta get it. Oh, you gotta get it, man. So you just grew up like that. So, you get older, a joke is a joke. I'm not gonna cry about it.
So like what was your family upbringing like? So you got brothers, sisters?
Yeah, so I grew up with brother and a sister in the house. I got some other brothers and sisters also. Funny
Okay.
thing, I actually just met one of my brothers 2 years ago. Like that was
Really?
my first time ever meeting him. Like
On your mom's side or your dad's side?
on my dad's side. So
Okay.
he lives in Jamaica and he came to America. That was the first time actually in America 2 years ago. And I met
Mm.
him that year. I got a sister that I still have never met.
In Jamaica?
Yeah, that's in Jamaica.
I mean, have you gone over there for like family trips to familiarize yourself like with the culture there and like dig into your roots there? Or is it more just stories that you kind of gets passed down orally to you?
The rules are there because the household that we grew up in. Mom
Hmm.
Jamaican, gonna really inundate you with the Jamaican culture. Like I
Hmm.
said, aunties, I got a lot of aunties and uncles. Grandma was in the picture, granddad, dad in the picture. Everybody's Jamaican. So you go to anybody's house, oh, it's a Jamaican household. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
we just haven't linked. It's a younger sister. We just haven't linked as of yet, but the goal is to link this year or next year. Probably gonna be in Jamaica.
So for the siblings that you grew up with in the house, where do you fall in terms like you the oldest, you the
I'm
middle,
on the baby. On the baby. Got away with everything. I'm the baby, man.
you the baby, really? Okay, okay.
In the in And probably the shortest one. Me and my sisters might be, but
Yes,
they taller than me.
yes. Thank you. So tell me about man, like what it was like growing up. Like was 2 parent household was. I mean, you said pops was in Jamaica, so like was it just you and moms and your siblings, or like what was the household and the family dynamic like growing up?
Yeah, so the household was me, brother, sister, and mom. Dad actually lived here, so there was a time where it was kind of back and forth or whatever. Me and dad are very good now, but it was a time where it wasn't so great. But
Hmm.
as I told my friend recently, man, I said, my dad never yelled at me. I can't tell you the time my dad ever yelled at me. Never got a whooping from my dad. My dad was never mean to me. You know what I mean? Whatever.
That seems very anti-stereotypical Jamaican dad. It's like every,
Listen,
like once again, you hear jokes and it's like Jamaican dads, Haitian dad, they like crazy. So that's
listen,
yeah,
it's some people that you don't need to get a whooping from. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I
Like
got an uncle that he
but-
well, actually, I was the only person that he whooped. He's like, yeah, you my only nephew and niece that I actually ever hit was you. I'm like, me? Yeah, you needed that day. Okay, all right, cool. But he's one of those guys that you don't really need a whooping from him because if he raised his voice, you
that's enough.
that's
Yeah,
it. You know, like granddad. Granddad don't say a lot. Grandma do a lot of talking. Granddad stand up. Everybody's like,
yeah, yeah.
something must really be going on for granddad to say anything, you know. So that was
You
kind
know,
of
it's crazy. This past Sunday, obviously, celebrating Father's Day this past Sunday,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so my church did something
Father's Day.
really. Happy Father's Day to you, bro. My church did something really cool where we had like a mock NFL draft type of scenario for the dads,
Mm,
where before they get drafted, like they show all their stats. Like he had this many tackles,
okay.
this many forced fumbles, and so we kind of played off of that for Father's Day, where we celebrated each dad, put them up on the screen in the church, and kind of had their dad stats. It was like this many lectures given, this many bills paid, this many spankings or whatever. And so it got down to me, and it was like, true to real life, it was like spankings given. It was like 1 to 2.
That's it.
And everybody was like, I was like, I ain't gotta spank my kids like that. My kids, they know what's up.
There
They
you
don't
go.
give me a lot of reason. Like most things are teachable moments. Most things aren't disciplinary moments. My kid's not really rebellious, so I don't really gotta spank them like that.
There you go.
But kind of to that point, when they hear a different octave in dad's
Hmm.
voice, they know, okay, time out for the games.
Yeah, he's not playing right now.
Yeah, yeah. So wishing you happy Father's Day. Obviously, you are a father. You're
Mhm.
married. How long have you been married now?
We were married 2 years. Um, it'll be 3 in August. So what, 2 months from now?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought it was longer than that for some reason.
No, we were together. We've been together for a couple years. We just haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, we've been friends on Facebook, and then even when we first met, which we can kind of double back to that too.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like, and I could be totally wrong because I wasn't like super dialed in, but like, even when you and I met back, like doing the abracadabra stuff, like, were y'all dating back then? Because I feel like I vaguely remember you making references to her, or maybe me seeing you post stuff on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, we were dating. By the time
Okay.
we met, yeah, we were already dating.
Okay. But y'all been locked in on the marriage tip for, you said this year will be 3 years.
This year will be 3 years. Yes, sir.
Okay. So man, let's jump into the deep end, man. Like what is married life been like? Because people, you hear this a lot in the culture where like, oh, when we were dating, everything was cool,
Hmm.
right? And it was kind of like that honeymoon phase. It felt it felt like it was less obligation. But then you hear people say, oh, but when I got married, it messed everything up. I mean, y'all dated for a long time.
Hmm.
You're not super new to marriage, but there's still a little bit of new car smell to it. Like, how has the adjustment been, just kind of settling into like married life?
I honestly think being married is the cheat code. You know, I was telling my
Mm.
friend that recently. He's a single guy. I told him once you get married, man, that's the cheat code. If you
Ex-
marry the right person, obviously.
Explain that. What do you mean by that?
It's the cheat code, right? What marriage does, in my opinion, and I think this is what marriage should do. It should ground you, right? Now you have a partner. You've always
Yeah.
had a house, right? But only one person ran it, you.
Mhm.
But now you got a partner. You have support. When you're having a bad day, that partner can step in and make that day better. If you're by
Yeah.
yourself, who's gonna make the day better? Yeah, you can have somebody over and temporarily makes it better, but that person probably doesn't love you, so it's not the exact same, right? But when you
Yeah.
have two that's holding down in household, it's
Yeah.
very different. It's very different. I think it's one of the greatest things ever. You see on social media people pushing back on the marriage and pushing, well, yeah, you
Because
know,
that was really my question to
yeah,
you. Like, what would you? Because there is that, right? Like you have a lot of people who are seemingly content with settling into long-term relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this like stigma attached to marriage, like once that is a threshold that's crossed, like it begins to, kind of destroy what the union was before. Like, so what would you say, what would you say to somebody that's like, yo, yeah, I'm cool if you want to get married. Like, I'm not anti-marriage, but I think that, just me just kind of cohabitating with somebody is the route that I would like. What am I missing out on by cohabitating with somebody versus marrying them and kind of having that type of partnership as you defined it?
I actually have a friend right now in a similar situation, and he'll see this at some point. But I told him this, so it's no big deal in my opinion. But that's going through that, and I said, well, at some point your child going to ask you, Dad, is mom not good enough for you?
Mm,
What do you say then? You know what I mean? At some point, her mom, her dad's going to be looking at you like, why won't you marry my daughter? She's already
mm.
looking at you like that.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
she's expressed it or not, if she believes in marriage, some people just completely don't believe in marriage. But most people that I run into, they believe in it. They're just
Mm,
not married yet. Okay, no problem. But when your child asks you, because you're having babies with them,
yeah.
you're around their family. At some point, if you were with my sister, I'm gonna ask you, hey, buddy,
What you doing?
what you doing?
Right,
You're not gonna
right.
marry her. She wants to be married. You're not gonna do it. Move.
Yeah.
Scoot over, let somebody else do what she needs to be done. You know what I mean? So anybody that's on that, I would say, hey man, if you're with her, the ultimate commitment is being married.
So
Ultimate commitment.
So, like you said something that I think that you use, I think, a great word. Like, marriage is a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is a cheat code. I was listening to, and I referenced this on an episode before. I was listening to Damon Wayans on a podcast recently,
Yeah.
and he was talking about like how high level business people, they're more inclined to do
Mm-hmm.
business with individuals who are married,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because if you're married, the assumption can be read into where it's like, oh, well, you used to conflict resolution,
You
right? You
done
you
figure some stuff out. I know
you
that.
used to like being solution oriented,
Mm-hmm.
compromise, partnership, teamwork. Those are all the attributes that we're looking for, even in a professional setting, to accomplish company objectives or entrepreneurial pursuits and things like that. And so marriage does help refine personal life skills
Of
that can
course.
get translated into the workplace, into other like interpersonal relationships. And so marriage is definitely like a huge development tool, that I think a lot of people be missing out on, because the truth of the matter is this. I love my wife, I adore my wife. There are some days where I don't like my wife,
Of course.
and the ratio of those days is probably higher on her end. Where she like, yo, I love and this dude's great, but I don't like him.
I don't like it,
5
right?
out of 10 days.
Yeah.
My wife got a great batting average. I like her 8 out of 10 days. I don't know what her ratio is for me, but on those day on the non-like days or the non-warm and fuzzy days, how do you still operate? Like that's that takes a level of like character development and
Mm-hmm.
commitment to like a bigger picture, other than it just being tied to just how you feel. And when you dating somebody, it's so easy to break that off and be like, you said the wrong thing too many
Yeah.
times, I'm done with you. What that
Mm-hmm.
does is it creates like a internal kind of disposition where it's like, yo, when this gets difficult, I can just douche you up.
The bounce. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Marriage, at the very least, it forced you to stick in there even until the divorce papers come back, even if you have it. And so it does breed a different type of, I think, character muscle
Mm-hmm.
that does translate to a cheat code in other scenarios in life.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
Was there a unique challenge that surprised you about being married versus when you guys were dating?
No, man, no. I think what's dope with our relationship is we know each other's quote unquote like boundaries, or I don't want to say boundaries, but we know when someone else needs some space.
Mm.
I think that's very important. What I realize is just growing up, you go to your grandma's house, you go to your auntie house, you go to your friend house, and then you see granddad or the man, he on the porch, he in the garage, and the woman is inside. Like, yo, every time I come in, you in the garage. Hey, it's work. Like they love that person, but they've been married to him for 25 years. You want to be in the same room all the time? No. They go to the garage, they go to their man cave or whatever just to chill out a little bit. But then we're going to come back together. You know what I mean? It's just like with your kids. At some point, your kids they're gonna run into their room. Like, oh, daddy. But
Yeah.
then at some point they're gonna come back to you. It's still love when they run into the room. They just don't like you right now. Why? Because they're 12 and 13.
Mm.
You know, that's just what a child does at some point, you know. So I think even as adults, we just act like it's not there. Sorry, my alarm. But we just act like it doesn't exist, and it does. We all need some type of sorry, man, trying to turn off my alarm.
No, you good.
We all have some type of boundaries that, or we just need time away, just a little bit of time. And I mean away. I mean, just hey, I'm just going to the other bedroom real quick,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and that's it. But we still love each other. You just no one can be under each other 24/7.
What has what has what has marriage taught you about you that you were surprised to learn about you?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question that I was unbending.
Mm.
Hey, this should be like this. Hey, this should be like this. Yeah, because you had the house to yourself. You could do all that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want this to look like this. It's gonna look like that. Then
Right. Right. Right.
and you know, you listen to your spouse and you listen and you hear what they're saying, and then you make the adjustments. You know, if
Mm.
adjustments are needed, you make the adjustment. She's making an adjustment with you. I think
Mm.
sometimes we forget that she probably made more adjustments than you did.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just haven't picked up on it. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think the one thing that I realized that at some point I was just unbending. I was stubborn in my own ways, but it comes from a lot of years of being on your own.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
house will look exactly like I want it to look. Well, now
Yeah.
you have a partner that says, "Hey, let's change it a little bit." And at
Yeah.
first, you're reluctant, but then, hey, man, you know what? This is for the betterment of the marriage, so let's do it.
Hmm. Yeah, I got quite a few. I got quite a few myself, and very similar. Like just once again, like to your point, like when it's just you don't got nothing to rub your ways up against. It's like this
Yes.
is the way I do things, and bro, like, when I tell you I'm even still to this day, bro. When I tell you I'm so OCD, I'm super neat,
Yeah.
organized, everything in its little place. And not to say that my wife isn't, but
Hmm.
she's not to the same degree that I am. So much so to where I'll tell you one of the things that like early on in our marriage that used to like, and it's gonna sound and it sounds petty now, which this was like it's petty. Let me just say that it's petty.
At least you know. Yeah, yeah.
But at the time when I was confronted with it, it wasn't petty to me at the time.
Mhm.
But it took like a good couple months to be like, bro, this is so petty. I can't believe you're upset
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Let me hear that.
We was living in this apartment complex, and the dish detergent it comes in a little bottle. Bottle is on typically on top of like right where the base of the sink is or
Yeah.
whatever. When I get done washing dishes, I close the cap to the bottle, and that's it, right? Man, I used to come home from work and see the cap open. and you, and you
Okay,
can't
live here.
burn me.
I'm- what are the voice papers at, man? Baby, that cap
Hey,
is that's the last straw. Like,
listen,
what?
when I tell you Petty wrote, and I remember one time, I remember one time, and shout out to my church family, man. I remember one time we was going to like, it was like this marriage retreat or something like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of gave that as like a loose example because it's so silly that you could say it and people not take you serious because they think you can't be taking something like this serious. But I said it,
I'm
and I
serious.
said it, I said it in a way to where it wouldn't be taken serious in the room,
Yeah,
even though it was serious to me.
yeah.
And the person facilitating the retreat was like, "Well, why don't you just close the cap on the dishwasher?" And when they said it, I was like, "Hmm, it's a brilliant insight. Why don't I just close
Get
it?"
it. Boy,
And that was like one of the first things in my marriage where I was like, okay, I do things differently than you do. My way isn't right. Your way isn't wrong. It's just different.
It's just different.
And I've had to learn that lesson over and over again in different scenarios.
Well, you gonna be telling that to your children one day when they there, they come to you by something like, let me tell you,
man. Exactly.
Ain't nothing worse than this.
I think it's important to note that you are married to a Black woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think because that's another reason, because I want to get into your Bring Back Masculinity campaign and just kind of what that message means when you put it out there, because that's kind of one of your calling cards on socials. I I heard recently, not recently, but like, yo, one of the most, if you want to make a difference in the Black community, if you want to be impactful in the Black community, if you want your presence and whatever contributions you make to the community to be felt, the most radical and impactful thing you can do is marry a Black woman.
Of course.
So you're married to a Black woman. You got how many kids? You got how many kids now?
We have two. We have two children.
2 kids. Y'all done?
You gotta ask her. You know, I'm straight. Hey man, listen, nothing happens to me. That's what I was saying.
He's like, I got the ammo. I don't.
Yeah, well, listen, nothing. I don't have to go through all these changes, man. If
I got you.
I'm ready. If you ready, you know. So I always, as of right now, we're done. As of right now, we're done. So we'll see in another couple of years.
I got a curveball and invasive question because Black men don't talk about this, and I think it's helpful. Let's just say she done.
Okay.
You getting snipped or she getting tied?
Who getting what? I'm
snipped.
I'm not getting snipped. No.
See. Tell me why. Tell me why.
I have no idea. Just know. It's just. Hey, listen. When you it's neuter for a male dog, right? And I'm not a dog, but it's neuter, not spayed.
Yeah, I think it's neuter. Yeah.
When that dog get neutered, he's not the same any longer.
Oh Lord, you done brought into the
man. I tell you, man. Listen, the animal kingdom tells you a lot about people, right? Because they don't have choice. What makes them different from us is, the opposable thumb, and then we have choices. They just live life, right? They have to live life. I give you a great example, right? Like lions. They just know what to do. The women are the hunters, and then the men come around for protection and, to mate and things of that nature, right? But they know what to do. So this woman is going to chase you just to make you run over there. She's not even trying to catch you. She's just leading you to the other female lion on the other side, right? That's just in them. They saw their mothers do it. They just did it, pick it up. There are no choices. And that's what I'm saying, is just far as watch the animal kingdom. They tell you what to do. But anyway, when the dog
I'm trying to figure out.
You had that feeling no more, man.
I'm trying to figure out. You went all the way to Pride Rock and Simba, and I'm like, how does this fit into like who gonna go get this procedure done?
He don't have that. He don't have that oomph no more. I'm telling you, it's just gone. You ever had dogs? I'm telling you, you have a new. What's wrong with Johnny, man? Like maybe your dog not named Johnny, but Bruno ain't mean no more.
So Bruno went and got neutered. He done turned into a cat now.
Yeah, Bruno and all domesticated now, man. Bruno don't want to chase.
You know what? I think I'm going to start leading the charge on vasectomies. Yeah, because I got one years ago. And
you got one?
Bruno is Brunoing. You feel
Well,
me? Bruno, he's still out here. He's
you,
still arr, arr, arr.
you know, you're the
Bruno.
second man I heard say, "Yeah, I got Snip." Second.
And I'll tell you why, man. Just because, like, and you'll appreciate this because you're in education. Like,
Mhm.
if you look at some of the medical science in
Mhm.
terms of the risk of complication and
Absolutely.
adverse side effects, it's astronomically higher, for women
For the
getting
women.
tube
Yeah,
times and stuff like that than it is for men. And
absolutely.
so, I did a little bit of research into it prior. I didn't just like jump into it, but it wasn't like because that was kind of, and I'm not
Okay.
trying to talk you into it. It's just like that was just. But when we had both the boys in daycare at the same time, I was like, oh yes, call my urologist. I can't do it. It's too much.
That's a
It was
lot.
it was solely right. I was thinking about money. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm no more boys coming out of me. None. I can't do it no more.
How many you got now? Three? How many
I
you got?
got three kids. I
Three
got
kids.
three kids. My
All right.
daughter's 21, and then my two youngest boys, 9 and 6.
Okay. Okay. 21.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, man. Yeah, my daughter, bro. She
love.
man, she grown. She just turned 21 this past week.
Oh, that's love.
Last week.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, man.
21. Ooh.
People be shocked. They see this baby face. They be like, 21, where? I feel like
I,
I know.
that black don't crack. That black ain't cracking yet.
It ain't cracking, man. It might be
That's good.
snipping, but it ain't cracking.
It ain't no snip over here. I'm gonna tell you that. That ain't happening. No, 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 no. I'm gonna say this. It hasn't happened, and I don't believe it's gonna happen. I don't say never about most things. Some things I can say never to. I won't say never to that.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't for everybody, but
Yes, of course.
we black men, we got to be more all black. And see, even like because I talked to my homeboys about it,
Hmm.
and they were trying to play me. They like had little jokes, kind of very similar. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your voice sound different and stuff. Like, man, stop playing, man, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? But like, we gotta help our wives out a little bit more, man. Anyway, okay, listen, I want to transition to a different part of the conversation, but we're going to do this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to you all's favorite segment. This is Richard with the There's Hope brand. Check him out. We come back. We're going to be talking to our brother Timothy. We're going to finish the conversation.
What's going on, my expert human family? This is your There's Hope segment of the week. All right. So I planned to go to the gym this morning, but when I got outside, what I didn't expect was the rain. It's raining outside. It was unexpected. End up getting wet. And honestly, we all know the rain can kind of just get us in a bit of a mood, like it's time to get back into bed. Um, Nonetheless, when I reflected on that, I thought about how life is filled with seasons of unexpected rain. We have those seasons where the sun is shining and it's beautiful out, but then we have those seasons to where it's like rain out of nowhere. And just like this morning, and just like those seasons, you can expect life to be filled with unexpected challenges. As you are striving in areas of life like relationship, employment, uh, school, faith, fitness, anything you think about, there's unexpected challenges. There's that unexpected rain that brings that shock value like, whoa, what, why, huh? Man, it happens. But what I want you to know is just like it was raining outside when I was heading to the car, I'm in the car now. Guess what? I'm covered from the rain. I'm still doing everything that I plan to do. I'm still going to the gym. I'm still going after my goals, but I'm covered. That's what I want you to know is that no matter what unexpected challenges come in your life, no matter what, God has you covered. Let me say that again. No matter what happens in life, God has you covered. And that's why there's hope. My expert human family, you have been enlightened, you have been educated, and you have been empowered in this segment. I want you to go and be the best version of yourself, knowing that no matter what unexpected things happen this week, there's hope for you. All right? And as I always say, no matter what's happened in the past, no matter what's going on currently, there's hope. I'll catch y'all next week.
All right, welcome back. That is the There's Hope segment with Richard Franklin. Y'all make sure y'all check out his merch, his whole platform. The link is in the description for all things There's Hope. Go follow him over there. Go comment. His thighs be out a lot on IG. So for any lady looking to get caught in a thirst trap of thighs, he's a good follow for that. Tim, your thighs be out there too now. I done seen a couple posts. With them thighs is thigh now.
Only when I'm working out, man. When I'm working out, you know.
I don't know.
You gotta be free and loose when you're working out, you know.
Free and loose. All right now. No, let me find, because I got some shade in the comments for you. So you're in education, but what I didn't know is the position that you hold in education. So talk to me a little bit about what your role is in education, what your current title and kind of function is, and how you got into education, to begin with.
So currently I'm a brand new AP, so assistant principal. Before that, I was a dean. Before that was an instructor. Actually, I got into education, actually kind of been in education for a long time. I worked for a for-profit college from 2010 to 15. So I was in the financial aid department, became the director of financial aid, and that's what actually got me to Orlando in the first place.
Okay.
So I took that promotion, got it to Orlando. Eventually, the company ended up closing down. After that, I was doing the personal training, but I was already mentoring students at Jones High School. So I said, hey, man, let me get into the schools because I can still train in the morning. I can still train in the evening. Then I have a 9 to 5 in between.
Yeah.
So I started teaching in Orlando. Liked it, man. I really liked it because I was already mentoring, as I said before. And now I'm able to mentor more students by way of just being their teacher, by way of just being at the campus, by way of just walking the hallways. At that time, I think I was 30 when I first got into actual public schools. And so I'm sort of the young teacher in a sense. Young, but I still have these values, you know. So the kids automatically, they respect it because I know who NBA Youngboy is. But at the same time, when you see me, my shirt is tucked in.
Yeah.
You know, not really wearing a jacket most days because it's Florida and it's hot, but you see me with the slacks on. So they still have that respect for me, but I can still get to their level in some instances. You know what I mean? So the kids really took to me, man. In my second year teaching, I was at Chain Lakes Middle School.
Okay.
When I tell you, had the students just here, man, just whatever Mr. Tim say, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just he doesn't even have my class, but he comes to my class. On my planning period, students coming to my class, man, I just need to talk to you. Can I talk to you real quick? All right, cool. Let's talk. You know what I mean? And that was more of the purpose. Again, now you're reaching back and you're giving back to the students, just as somebody gave back to you. Because I've had conversations with, the SRO at my high school that really, hey, boy, sit down.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that because your mom's going to tell you certain things. The people in your house are going to tell you certain things. And sometimes, unfortunately, we need to hear it from someone else.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, and what I learned from those students also is some things they're not telling their parents. And when a student says, I need to talk to you, the first thing I ask them, is it something that I cannot hear? Especially for the young ladies. Is it something I can't hear? Because I have a guidance counselor that can listen to you. Oh, no, it's not that. All right, cool. So we can talk about regular stuff. You know what I mean? Because I still have to respect that they are young people, some things your parents need to know. And then it's, this person talk about me. I can help you with that advice. Started teaching, moved back down to South Florida because that's where I'm originally from. Moved back down to South Florida, continued teaching, but now I want to get the aspect of the entire school and not these four walls that I'm in. So what's the next step? Do something so that you can get to the AP and then to the principal role. Once you get to the higher roles, you have more say-so in the school.
So coming in as a teacher, it was your aspiration at the onset to climb the ladder to like that assistant principal role and then eventually principal role for you. Like you came into that with that kind of foresight that you want to be in that position.
No. At that time, I was just getting an education.
Okay.
I like mentoring students. Let me just get into education. I'll be honest with you. I saw some things that made me say, man, it's a lot of politics. There's politics in every industry, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then as I matriculated through my career, hey, man, there's politics in everything. You just have to go with the, you know what I mean? You're still going to be standing on, I think you said it earlier, I'm flat-footed about certain things.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but there are some things that you have to juggle and you just have to figure out, right? Just because you're moving up in that ladder doesn't mean you have to do anything incorrectly or you have to do anything that goes against your morals. Because once it comes to my morals, I'm not going against it. But there are some quote unquote, what people say, politicking.
So like for you, because so one, I know I don't have the exact statistics in front of me, but just in terms of Black male representation in that space, like the outcomes that normally happen from a behavioral perspective, and even from a, just kind of an educational perspective in terms of like what kids feel inclined to engage and retain and to learn and like participate in the classroom, like the likelihood of that like increases dramatically when there is like Black male representation, particularly in like predominantly Black schools or in Black contexts. Is that something that you see fleshed out with, like, because you were talking about like, yo, those kids are like, yo, whatever Mr. Tim say, like that's what it is. Do you attribute some of it to that, or like is that even a headspace that you operate in, or you're like, hey, I'm just here, and you're not necessarily thinking about like maybe the nuanced ways that just you even being there and what that represents for the kids?
No, man, I picked that up the first day. I picked that up instantly. The kids respond to me differently than they respond to some other people. For whatever reason. Okay, I'm a Black man. I look like
was
you.
Was that something you expected, or was that eye opening for you?
No, I expected it. I would say the thing that's eye opening is when you actually see it, when you're actually in it. You know what I mean? You can think, I think this is what it is. And it can be in your mind as much as you want it. And then when you see it, say, okay, it's confirmed now. It's no longer theory, it's actual practice. No one had to tell me this. I'm seeing it day by day in real time. So I see young men. It's a lot of young men that speak to me. And then sometimes, they'll have a situation going on. I bring them in the office and they'll tell me what this person told me and what this person told them. And I just say, hey, cool, that's good. Thank you for them giving you advice. I'm the only one that you look like. What do you mean? I'm the only person that can tell you what's probably going to happen to you in your life. Because I had to go through similar things. You get what I mean? Because I can't tell a young lady exactly what's going to happen because she's going to go through things that I don't know about. But a young man, a young Black man, when you walk in certain areas, these things may happen. You may get looked at this way. This is how you carry yourself when this does happen. Because at some point, God forbid, things are going to happen. And he is going to need somebody to tell him how to react. If not, he may just react as a normal 14, 15, 16-year-old reacts. And that may not be the correct thing at the time.
Do you see yourself as, how can I word this? Like, do you see yourself as an individual working within the education system to create change inside of it? Or do you see, or do you think the institution of education kind of is what it is, and you're like, yo, I'm solely focused on like how I can affect each kid one experience, one relationship at a time, or is it both? And the reason why I asked that question is um, I had a small throwaway, like a small, like a small sample size of like I was an educational assistant, and it
Okay.
was similar because there was a white lady who was like the teacher, but them kids they just gravitated towards me, and
Mm-hmm.
she was resentful because of that.
Mm.
Because it was very similar to like we were talking about with kids, and I don't gotta spank you, my kids, and all that. I can just
Mm-hmm.
like I'm talking to them like, "Hey man, sit your behind down."
Yeah. Yeah.
But they know they it's like big bruh.
You know I
They like,
love you. Yeah. I
you know
love
I
you,
love you,
man.
like
And
bro.
I'm
If you don't,
showing you.
yeah. And I used to tell them like, man, if you don't sit your behind down. So and like they knew like I was talking love to them. To her, she
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, man, this is a love talk right here. This ain't, and they know it. I know it. You know.
Yeah.
And so the question comes from like like I said, a very small sample size. I was an instructional assistant for maybe like a year at a
Mm-hmm.
really awesome charter school here in Central Florida. Shout out to Emma Jewel Charter Academy. Super,
Okay.
super amazing people there, ran by a bunch of amazing people. And so in that instance, it was like it was kind of like black people running the show in a small sense, but it did open my eyes up to be like, yo, there is, talking about like that prison, what is it, that school to prison pipeline. These kids having plan IEPs. What are they
Yeah. They
called?
have IEPs. Yeah.
IEP.
Individualized education plan.
I'm like, yo, it's a like, yo, they really categorizing these kids
Mm-hmm.
like it's a whole system. It's a whole educational industrial complex where I'm like, yo, so so do you see that one and you're like, yo, I'm working to make change and impact like structural within the education system? Or you like, you know what, it's too big, it is what it is. I'm just focused on these kids, one experience, one relationship at a time.
So there's something that I live by, man. Things that I can't change, I try not to put too much energy into it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't change the entire education system. Some people may think they can. By all means, go do it. Right? Go try it. Go do whatever you feel you can do. I don't believe I can, so I'm not trying to. You know what I can affect? The kids that are in front of me. You know what I can affect? The people that can hear me. I can hopefully infuse something into you that you give off to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
If I put energy into, I'm going to change the entire system. Now I forget about the guy right in front of me. The young
Mm-hmm.
man looking at me like, help me. I'm going to change
Mm-hmm.
all of Florida. Help me in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So sometimes we lose sense of that because, listen, I can't change the entire school system. I can help out the students that are in front of me. I can help at this school, possibly in this district. So let me give
Mm-hmm.
the attention to those kids that need it, that are in front of me.
Yeah.
It's when
Yeah.
you're in business, what they say, the most important customer is the one in front of you.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
that one. You know what I mean? And then you can worry about the other ones later, but get that one in front of you. And hopefully the teachers that you come across or the people that you see at district, people that you see at different conferences, hopefully you put something into them that they bring back to their schools. Because if they have something great, they're putting it in me and I'm listening. And then I may take it to my school. You know what I mean? So you just keep branching out and putting things into different people's ears. And hopefully that makes a change at different places.
If I'm recalling kind of this statistic correctly, like this predominantly in terms of like teacher representation is predominantly like white women.
Yes.
Do we have a male like not do we? It's obvious we have a deficit of male teachers. Like, what are some ways? Why do you think that is? First of all, like why don't we have as many male teachers? And how can we maybe try to like bring more balance to that scale in terms of even those who are in college and maybe trying to consider what career field they want to take, to consider being teachers.
I think that definitely there's a shortage of male teachers, especially male black teachers. And the reason being is number one, I think that when they grew up, they never thought about being a teacher. It's not something that I don't think most men say, yeah, I want to be a teacher, right? I think more girls say that. And I think that women are more nurturing than men. If it's a generalization, it's a generalization. But I think that women are more nurturing so they can deal with children. I also think that the school system is not black and white, right? When I worked at in the college, black and white. Did it happen? Nope. Done. That's it. Did they turn that paper on, that thing on time? No. Done. That's it. Over here, it's a lot of gray area. And the men that I know don't deal well in gray area. It causes a lot of confusion. Yes or no, Tim? Well, when you think about it like this, that's what you're going to get from the school system a lot of times. But you have to be able to navigate through that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that men, we have to tell men that there can be money in education. First thing someone will say, they don't make no money. All right, cool, no problem. You come out, you're 22 when you graduate college, right? 21, 22, 23, whatever. You come out, I think the starting wage in Florida is 48,000, right? You do your time, you become AP or whatever it is, you get these different certifications, you start making more money. You got to remember, you're not working 12 months like everybody else. You're working 10 months if you're a teacher. 10 months, 180 days.
Y'all still get paid during the summer months?
It depends. In Central Florida, they give you a choice. You can get your full paychecks for the 26 weeks that you get them for, or whatever it is. And then you also have and then over the summer, you don't get paid. You also have an option where they take out, a couple dollars off every paycheck so that they can pay you during the summer. Down here in South Florida, you're getting paid through the summer because they're going to take it anyway. It's mandatory. They're taking that little portion out every paycheck so they can pay you in the summer.
Huh. So what do teachers do during the summer? Because they got like the summer off just like the kids.
So some teachers work summer school, some teachers do tutoring, some teachers go to like a Boys and Girls Club or YMCA and teach. Some teachers say, I'm not working, I'm good, I got enough money. You know what I mean? I think sometimes when I had a friend he was talking about taxes recently. He said, man, you should get back this amount of money. I said, how? Because y'all teachers. And he threw out a number of what he thought that me and my wife made together. And I almost died laughing, man. Like, you really think that's what we made? Yeah, I thought that's what I made.
What? I mean, not to get all in your business. Was it more or
it was horrible, man. Like
less? Oh, he underestimated y'all.
Man, by a lot, man. Like, yo, how do you think we living? And I'm not saying that teachers shouldn't get paid more. I think teachers should get paid more. But I am also saying that if you started at 22 and you're getting that bump every year, remember at 22, you're making $50,000, you should be all right. You know what I mean? You should definitely be okay. But if you keep going over time, you can make a decent amount. You become AP, become principal. Definitely if you're principal, you're making more than most people. Most people don't make six figures.
Yeah.
Most people that make six figures, but most people don't make six figures. The average is what, like $60,000 in America?
Like, yep, around that.
So you're definitely way below 6 figures. You AP, you beating that. So,
man, so like it would be cool, man, because I think to your point, like we don't see a lot of male teachers growing up. I recall one. I had two male teachers that I can distinctly remember all of my school years. One, I gave him hell because it was just. I still remember Mr. Belchek. He was a science teacher. I used to just go to his class and just cut up. This was like 8th grade. I used to I was a trouble kid. I used to do all type of stuff. I used to make animal noises every time every time we go right on the board. I'd be like mooing like a cow or barking or something like that. But I had one male teacher who was and it was a black guy, very impactful. Because up until that point, I like subconsciously, I probably felt like teachers were like robots. Like they just stayed at the school, and when everyone left, like the janitor came and just hit the off switch, and they kind of like powered down in the classroom until you came back the next day. And then this was the first time I hung out with a teacher like after school hours, and like because I was really into basketball, he was training me. I was like, yo, teachers is real people. And I was like, yo, actually, this guy is foul. wow, like how is he a teacher? Like I was hanging out with him. I see him do some crazy stuff. I'm like, this guy's a teacher.
This dude, wow, they need a camera. We're going
Wow.
this
I'm
guy
talking
up out of
about
here.
foul stuff. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, crush my little dream. But what are some ways you think we can like just basic like kind of talk to um men about getting into education? Because I mean, this kind of wasn't even really the point of the whole conversation, but I'm just interested in it personally.
I would say that men need to ask questions. One, ask questions. Also, listen when someone that's in the profession is telling you about the profession. Right? Hey,
Mm,
you don't have to be broke to get into the profession. You know what I mean? You also get a lot of time off. You want to spend time around your kid? Become a teacher.
mm,
Banker hours. Oh, we're killing that.
mm.
Banker hours used to be the thing. Banker hours, post office. Nah, man, I see my mailman came on Sunday last week. You know what I mean? Like,
Like, what you doing out here?
you know who not working on a Sunday? Me.
Teachers.
You know what I mean? Now, you may have something that you got to write up quickly or whatever it is, and do some outside work every now and then, but we're not working on the weekends, man. So if men just realize that there is a lane for you here, you will make such an impact. And then we always say that we want to help the children out. We want to help out the next generation. This is how you do
Yeah,
it. This
yeah,
is, you're really spending time with kids. You're in school for 7.5, 8 hours. If you're a coach, you're with them after school. They
yeah,
need to
yeah,
see us doing something positive, right?
yeah.
Wearing, the polos or the dress shirts, the slacks, seeing that this is how your shirt's supposed to fit. And this shouldn't be the
Hmm.
first time that you put on, a tie and a shirt is when you go into court. And now the shirt is too big for you, look stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you don't know how to fit a shirt correctly. You don't know how to get
yeah.
a tailor. You don't know anything about it. You know how to tie a tie. These are things that men can teach you. The man at your school can teach you that.
You know what? That's a good segue into this bring back black masculinity
Mm-hmm.
that you talk about a lot online. So a lot of the content that you produce online as a result of the work that you're doing in the schools and in the community and training and stuff like that, you always kind of hashtagging, bring back black masculinity. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to put words in your mouth when you
That's
say
true.
that. What message are you conveying when you say that?
So I started seeing a lot of things that I would look at and say, hey, man, my granddad wouldn't have did that. My dad don't do nothing like that.
Mm,
That argument's stupid, or that shouldn't be said aloud. And I started
mm-hmm,
thinking, you know what, men just not masculine like I think the prior generation was, right?
mm,
In some aspects, okay, thank you for not being that tough, you know what I mean? But in some
yeah.
aspects, hey man, you need to just be a man. And I actually have a shirt that says "Bring back black masculinity." And a guy in the gym saw it. He's a white guy, cool guy. He said, "Man, bring back all masculinity." I said, "Yeah, cool,
Of
cool."
course,
You know what
of
I mean?
course he did. Of course he did. All masculinity matters, man. If you don't sit your behind down,
But you know that too. I said, "Hey man, I gotta get my house in order first. I have to get my house in order first. So I had to bring back black masculinity. You know what I mean?" But I'm seeing arguments about 50-50. That shouldn't be an argument. That shouldn't be a conversation aloud. That should be in your house. I'm seeing people talk about sex outwardly. Hey, what are you doing? Like that's in your house. I'm seeing men watch women change tires and they're right there. They're not disabled. Nothing's wrong with them. And your lady's changing your tire. I see guys who let their girls pump the gas. What are you
let me tell
doing?
you. Let me
You know
tell
what I
you
mean?
some of the most egregious things. I think probably the most. I see stuff online with like women proposing to
Yeah,
men.
yeah, yeah,
What we doing,
yeah,
man? What
yeah.
we doing?
What are we doing? What are
What
we
we doing,
doing?
man?
But you know what? I was reading a book recently. It's called The Superior Man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's talking about the masculine and the feminine energy, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
says that if the women are watching you and they're testing you sometimes when they tell you something, and if you don't do it, they feel like they have to be masculine now. And
Mm.
my sister told me something a long time ago. She says, if I'm dating a dude and he does everything he's supposed to do, I'll back up. But if he's still playing around, I have to stand up because he's not going to do it. You know what I mean? I said, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But I just want our men to do men things. You know, whatever that is, provide, protect, it should automatically mean protect, right? If, you know, someone comes to your door, the man should jump in front first, right? You look online, you see men hitting women. And I mean punching women, and then other men are standing there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Every time I see, I remember something Malcolm X said, and I see you got the Malcolm X shirt on.
We're going to talk about that.
And Malcolm said, he was having a speech, and he said that the police was messing with the women or something like that. And he said, and men were standing around. You know what I mean? He said, you shouldn't, you don't deserve to be on this earth or something like that. Yeah. And I agree with that. There's no way I'm standing next to a woman getting hit. Hey, bro, stop. If this is my girl. Okay, you do that over there. Just don't do it here, man. Because it's about protection.
I had it was probably like a couple months ago, man. Like there's a basketball court around the corner from where I live, and so I'm up there just shooting around. This is dude at the park arguing with his girl. I can tell they both a little, you know, a little inebriated. And you know, he arguing with his girl, and he just like bowing up on her, and they may be like 100 yards away. It's a park. And so I'm stopping, and I'm out there. I'm by myself. I'm just out there shooting. And I stop, hold my ball, and I just stand there and I look at him because I want him to see me looking at them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be wise about the way the way you engage. And so at first I'm like, before I just go up there and just like present myself and kind of jump in this, let me just let bruh hopefully feel some shame from me just stopping and looking at him like, bruh, what you doing? And so he see me look at him and he still do his thing. So now I'm intentionally like, I'm just going to be like, just looking at you. And they over there, they arguing, they yelling, and they got a baby like in a stroller. And so I yell over there, man. I'm like, hey man, what you doing? Like ease up off of her, because she got her backed up on a fence. And he like, I should, and he like flinching at her. So I'm yelling over at him like, hey bro, I'm gonna call the police now. I'm gonna call the police. Don't put your hands on her. As a result of that, she starts walking my direction, and she's like, "Oh, can you help me?" This, that, and the third. And I could tell the look of surprise on his face, like, "Bro, what you doing?" Like the expectation is like, "Bro, mind your business. This is mine." And I'm like, "Nah." From the minute you start, it doesn't matter what's going on. You know, I'm gonna be wise. I'm not just jumping into every little thing on GP. But like the minute you start any man like threatening a woman, putting your hands on her, that's immediately like, if I'm there, that I have a certain level of responsibility to like engage in that, or at least try to de-escalate whatever's going on so that you're not putting your hands on. And when I called the police officer came. The police was surprised I got involved.
That's crazy.
Like so much so that they was questioning me. They was like, "Well, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Man, I'm the one who called y'all, man."
It's just so rare now, man. It's a rare occasion that you see that men are really standing up the way that they're supposed to. So now when we see the woman getting on a knee, because she's taking over masculine things because the men not doing it. Like you'll never hear me say anything bad about women aloud. Will I critique a woman quietly? Yes, I critique anybody quietly. You'll never hear me get on social media or see me post something bad about a woman. Will I make a joke about somebody? And
why is that though? I'm curious.
Women get bombarded with insults all day, every day, all the time, unprotected, right? So why would I add to that? Now I talk to a man any day. You're wrong, men, you tripping, men, you know what I mean? Men, stop making single mothers. I remember I made a post that said, "Men, stop making single mothers." And my sister said, "Man, you got to put some blame on us too." I said, "You could put blame on you." Because I'm talking to the men. Because if I have a conversation, I can stand in front of men and tell him Hey, we wrong right here. I'm not doing that in front of no woman. You know
Why
what I'm
do
saying?
so? Do you think there's a lack of accountability
Of course.
in the African American male space?
Definitely. Um, when we have songs that call women B's and H's and we act like it's a great thing, that's already a problem. There's no accountability there. Tim, I'm just talking about what I see in the hood. You don't live in the hood. You're rich. What are you talking about? You don't live out there. You're promoting violence, death, destruction. You know what I mean? Bad habits, bad financial decisions. I'm throwing money in the club. That's horrible, bro. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got no money as a whole. Why would you be
Mm-hmm.
wasting it? Why would you talk
Mm-hmm.
to your sister like that? That's your sister.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, in some way, that's your sister. Why would you talk to her like that? What you think your little brother gonna do now? He gonna talk the same way. And then 15 years now, from later, you're gonna say, bro, you wrong. I learned it from you. I learned it
Mm-hmm.
from my rappers what to say disrespectfully to a woman. But why would I do
Mm-hmm.
that? That's stupid. Cause you talk to my
Mm-hmm.
daughter like that, we got a problem. You talk to my wife like that, we got a problem. I'm not saying I'm gonna beat you up, but yo, stop.
Yeah.
Can't talk to my
Yeah.
sister, my mom like that, calling her a B and a H. You crazy? So the accountability, what we gave up accountability if you're getting paper. So if you're getting money, you can do whatever you want. That's not cool because that's why that in addition to minding your own business, that's how you get the incidents of these pedophiles and these people who doing all this bad stuff. You can talk about some of these stars that's doing all the crazy stuff because we say, oh, he getting money. No, he's an evil person. But because he getting money, we can't hold him accountable. I will.
Mm-hmm.
If he come
Mm-hmm.
around me, I'm gonna hold him accountable. I don't know what you're gonna do. I won't pay.
So,
I won't listen to your music if you say something crazy.
I mean, man, there's so much there, bro. Like, cause and this is not on no Derek Jackson energy, right? Where we just like, some people like get
Well,
on here and just
I'm
want
not.
to just bash dudes just for the sake of bashing dudes, and it's not easy being a man.
Mm-hmm,
It's not easy being a man if you are trying to be a man that has some level of substance,
mm-hmm,
character, integrity, ethics about you,
mm-hmm,
everything that this world offers in terms of pockets where men can get comfortable in like being slack in any area, whether it's their character or their money or their sexual desires, all of that. Like it's easy. Like the world has made it easy to like find pockets where like that type of behavior or mindset is acceptable or even
mm-hmm.
applauded. And but I'll tell you this though, man. And I told my wife this like some years ago. Like I am not a fan of contemporary black culture.
Mm.
Like what quote unquote culture overwhelmingly represents seemingly in like the black context, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. And I mean, and so even when we start talking about it being specific towards men, like promiscuity,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, creating broken homes because children are being birthed and there's not a nuclear family setting
Mm-hmm.
that is taking place and building wealth and affirming identity, giving purpose and affirmation to our children so that they go into the world and can be productive members of society and things of that nature. Like, yo, there's not that, then if accumulating money and getting money is the sole identifying marker of like your manhood, I would say that's a very thin and shallow
Yeah.
um like marker. Like, yo, if getting money is what validates your manhood, I'm like, man, that's it.
That's it. For real.
That's it, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like anybody can get money,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting money is money is only a tool, for the means that you use it for. So if you're getting money only for the means of abusing other people, if you're getting money only for the means of this sense of superiority to move however you want to move, or you're a high value man, so you can have options and you're wanting women to be submissive, or like you said, kind of on that 50-50 energy. It's like, man, to what end are you getting all this money for? Because it's not accentuating the best qualities of what it means to be a man anyway.
Exactly.
I'm just like, when it comes to like things like this, and this is me, the BET Awards, I don't watch that junk.
No.
I don't watch that junk.
Nope.
For what?
No, you know what's gonna happen.
Where is like I post something on Facebook recently, and I was like, yo, people may not get it. I was like, yo, black excellence is a thing. It ain't the thing that y'all make it though.
Unfortunately.
Because when I look on I don't see black excellence. Like this is debauchery. This is moral decline. This is a people imploding on itself. I don't see excellence in that. And so, like, even the ideas of what we kind of term as black excellence or progressive, kind of moving the ball forward, I'm like, I don't see that in our music overwhelmingly. I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Of course.
I don't see that in our music. I don't see that in our entertainment. I don't see that in our literature, which is a stretch even there. Like I said, not broad stroking like it doesn't exist. There are pockets of people who definitely represent black people well. But I don't see that in our communities. I don't see that in our value system. I don't see that in our finances.
Let me add to that, right? I saw a guy, he posted, sorry, he didn't post, I apologize. But I remember I was talking to a friend and he said, well, that's what they want to see. They want to see the next. I said, hold on, wait. I'm going to name you some television shows that went on for 5 to 8 seasons. The Neighborhood, recently, I thought The Neighborhood was corny with Cedric Entertainer, but I watched it when it was on. Like, it's kind of corny, but it's cool to watch.
Yeah.
It was a decent show. You know what I mean? Blackish went on for 8 seasons. Very decent show. Fresh Prince went on forever. Family Matters went on forever. The best show ever, or most popular show ever, The Cosby's, went on for years. And I'm like, no.
My Wife and Kids, bro.
My Wife and Kids. Oh, yeah, man. Tisha. But those were good shows that you can watch with your children.
Yeah.
That went on for years. And I said, no, we do like them. Just give it to us. Yeah. Give us the option of watching something good, and we will turn it into something. I guarantee you'll get some ratings, because it always shows. It's just you're going to put out 15 other ones, and that's what's going to dominate, because you got 15 versus 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are problems out there.
And when you oversaturate the market with that, with those messages, what you do is you then begin to like cater the appetite. Where it's like, all right, well, now all we as a community, not only is that all that we have available to us, it's all that we have been conditioned to want, because now we see ourselves this way. And I just, it's like, man, I won't say that I don't listen to no hip hop. I'm not gonna get up here and act like, I do listen to hip hop, especially if I'm going to the gym or something like that. Like but there is a conflict in my conscience, even when I'm listening to it. Like,
I shouldn't be listening to this.
This is poison. It's like, this is bad. It's a bad message just for the greater good. Like, and so I'm not very optimistic about Black culture at this age and stage of my life. I'm not very optimistic about where it's at, what it represents in the direction that it's going in, man. Like I said, I know the BET Awards was just a week or 2 ago. I ain't watched the BET Awards in years. I have zero interest in it, because my heart breaks when I look at it. I'm like, man, is this the best we got to represent us? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this the overwhelming whole of what we produce for consumption?
And think about it, when, especially being in education, I see the fruits of all this.
Yeah.
They come to school. That's all they thinking about. Hey, did you do the homework? Man, you saw the BET Award last night. We talk about that afterwards. You know what I mean? But that's what they're thinking about. That's what they're consuming. If you're consuming so much negativity, it's hard for you to think positive.
Yeah.
And if your household isn't good or isn't in order, then oh my goodness, you have an uphill battle. And then you get
Yeah.
that one teacher who really loves you, but you have her for 45 minutes a day or him for 45 minutes a day.
And
That's
that's a
gonna be hard.
drop in the bucket in
Exactly.
comparison to, yeah.
Exactly. So even in the school system, and some things, or not even in the school system, in culture, period, the standard is so low in
Mm-hmm.
certain parts of life, right? Educational system, the standard is very low as far as people, period. Oh, he got a blah blah. He got a. That's not good. That's not.
Mm.
No, he can do better than that. How you know? Because when I sat with him, he did better than that. I know he can do
Mm.
better than that. He didn't even turn in the assignment. That's all I need
When
him
he
to turn in.
when more is expected,
Yes,
that's
yes,
when we answer the call.
yes. I have a friend whose son got fives on the ELA and on the math portion of the state assessment. And I'm on the phone with him, and he's a doctor. The dad's a doctor. So I'm on the phone with the son. He's fifth grade. I said, "What did you get on the math?" I said, "A five." I said, "What did you get on the ELA?" "A five." I said, "What did your daddy buy you?" But his dad is they're on speakerphone. The dad said, buy him what? Buy him what? That's the standard. Man, I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I said, that's my boy. That's the
Yeah.
standard. Now,
Yeah.
you will get
Yeah.
things, of course, but I'm going to give you a dap for getting a five, but that's
Yeah.
all we accepting anyway.
So my son made AB honor roll out of he was in the third grade. He got AB honor roll.
Yeah.
This is his first year, like actually getting like real letter grades and not like
Okay.
E's and O's and stuff like that. So to this year was a big year. So the his last semester he got AB honor roll and he came in. He was so happy. I was happy with him. He's like, "So what you gonna give me?" I was like, "Son, the AB honor roll is the reward.
That's the reward.
That like you put the work in, you are able to see that when I work hard, there can be a good outcome for my efforts put in. That's the reward.
That's a
That's the
reward.
prize that you get, bro. Like you get
Thank
to
you.
say, I killed it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we're not.
That should be the reward. You saw it, that's a reward. You got an A, and everybody knows you got an A. You're
Yeah,
smart.
yeah,
Thank you, Dad.
yeah. All right, let's do this because we over time. So I do want to talk about one topic with you. So let's go.
Okay.
Let's go to my favorite segment. This is Words for Nerds. Y'all hang out. Y'all stay put. We're gonna come back because y'all gonna want to hear the last part of this conversation. Yo, what's up, experts? Back at it again. I'm tired, man. I'm on the road doing some traveling. Y'all see I'm in a hotel room, but I could not let another week go by without hitting y'all, at least with my favorite segment of the show, Words for Nerds. So, let's get wordy or nerdy, whatever I normally say. This week's word is pejorative. Pejorative. I love this word. I just started trying to implement this word into my vocabulary. And what pejorative is it is an adjective having a disparaging, derogatory, or belittling meaning or effect. Let me read that again. A pejorative is an adjective having a disparaging, derogatory, or belittling meaning or effect. And so a pejorative can be a sentiment, it can be an implication, it can be a description that is negative or demeaning in nature. I'll give you an example. And I thought about this before I started recording. So try to think of like a good relevant pejorative that we use casually. Specifically, in the Black community, we use what I think is a pejorative, such as CPT time, right? We all know that, and we all know kind of what that means. Colored people time. It basically means that there is some kind of shared understanding that people of color move in a less than punctual manner, and that you have to factor that in when you're talking about the punctuality of Black people and when they're going to show up. If the barbecue starts at 2, don't get there to 3 because we operate on CPT time. You know how it works. That term and that phrase and what it embodies, in my estimation, is a pejorative. It is a statement that has a derogatory or belittling meaning or connotation to it. So that is our word for the week. There are a lot of phrases out there. sayings, innuendos that can be deemed as pejorative. So I'll read that definition for you one more time. And listen, starting this week, I'm going to be looking in the comments section to see who is using the word of the week in a way that is just fly, and then I'm going to be sending you a prize, whoever that person is that comments a sentence using the word for the week, which is pejorative. All right, don't be lazy. Don't make me throw a pejorative your way. All right, comment a word this week in the comment section. Best sentence wins a prize. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back, Words for Nerds. Listen, the word of the week, write it in a sentence, put it in the comment. I'm going to start giving out prizes for those who can write the best sentence using the word of the week in the comments. I'm going to start giving out prizes. And what I mean by that is it may be some DoorDash, some Uber Eats. I'm going to buy somebody some lunch. But y'all got to listen to the segment and y'all got to actually think about the word, because what I'll do is I will announce the winner of the previous week on the following episode. So y'all definitely want to make sure that y'all, man, listen, what show you going to go to where you hearing wonderful conversations like this and we are building your level of articulation week over week over week with new words. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you share this. All right, so listen, bro. Obviously, doing some research on you, and you and I have a fondness for what I think is one of the most important figures in American history. Our good brother Malcolm X. I've seen that his autobiography by Alex Haley is like a annual read for you, man. And so Malcolm is just an amazing figure in my imagination. And so I just want to talk with you a little bit about, just kind of his life and legacy a little bit. We ain't got to go super deep because obviously it's a lot packed into his life that we're not going to be able to really unpack in the next 5 to 6 minutes. But at a high level, man, like I really want to just kind of unpack, just some of the key takeaways from Malcolm's life and legacy that, have impacted you, informed you, given you a train of thought in any way.
The Malcolm X, the autobiography of Malcolm X, that was the first book I ever read from front to back.
Really?
And I mean,
that's a heck of a book for it to be the first. I remember my first book. It was a lot less dense.
Every break from work, I'm trying. Where's my book? I'm trying to finish this book because it was so interesting and intriguing. And one of the great things that I got from Malcolm was, there's many great things, obviously, but the way you start is not the way you have to finish. Because he would tell you, I was a wayward criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at who he is, you know what I mean? Became a minister, obviously. And then also being able to stand on your square. I remember in the interview, they said, do you think it's going to be some type of retaliation and, because of what you're saying? He said, yeah, I'm probably a dead man now. And he was smiling as he said it. But you know what he did? Kept saying it anyway.
Yeah.
Because the truth, he wanted to break people out of this bondage that you have and to understand how great you can be. Stop putting that needle in your arm. Stop drinking. Stop gambling. Stop all this promiscuity. Stop all these bad things. You know what you're supposed to be doing. The only way you're going to get better is by doing these things. Dedication. Everything that people say about this man is he was dedicated.
Yeah.
This man was disciplined. You don't hear anything about something nasty about Malcolm, after he's married and all that, has kids. You don't hear anything else. You hear he drink coffee every morning. You know what I mean? And that's about it. You know what I mean? You don't hear him getting drunk. You don't hear him in the club halls doing crazy things. You hear positive, disciplined man. And in front of anybody stands on his square, period.
Yeah.
And those are some of the things that I loved about what I read about Malcolm X and seen in the videos.
Yeah, I mean, if for those who are watching, if you've seen Spike Lee's rendition of Malcolm X's movie as an autobiography, I highly encourage you to read, Alex Haley, who Malcolm contributed or collaborated with directly to really pen his own autobiography, really with anticipation of knowing that his life was on a short runway based on the
Mhm.
stances he was taking. And so one of the key things that I just like that I walk away from Malcolm's life is just the power of self determination. This man, before being Malcolm X, being Malcolm Little, and running the streets of Boston and hustling and
Mhm.
pimping and running numbers and doing all the things he was doing right, and then to come into a faith system that radically transformed his mind and his whole approach to life, and then the level of fervor that
Mm.
he just
Mm.
that it fueled, so much so that he was really the cornerstone of the Nation of Islam at its peak here in America, in the early '60s. And so yeah, man. One thing, because I didn't go to college, and I remember a reporter doing an interview asked Malcolm X, like, man, where did you, man, you so educated, like, where
Mhm.
did you go to school? Where was your formal education? And I quote this line directly from Malcolm, all the time when people may ask me on occasion, like, man, where did you go to school? I literally said the same thing Malcolm said. Books are my alma mater.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
viewing just the life arc of someone like Malcolm, it just it's like, yo, freedom is in books. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Ideas are in books. Um, uh, uh, Cheat codes are in books.
Yes. Yes.
The way to think, the way to think are in books, not necessarily giving you the thoughts, but giving you the framework to critically reason through other people's thoughts and contrast them with your own, or to even formulate your own. Like that was a part of my imagination that Malcolm's autobiography sparked in my mind. And so I don't read it every year like you, but
Mm.
every when I and I may pick it up, and I had to blow the dust off of it because it's probably been like 2 or 3 years since I read it. But in preparation for this, for our conversation, I just kind of thumbed through it again, and just really just kind of refreshing myself on it, man. I'm like, man, this, you know, even with our other black leaders,
Yeah.
there are indiscrepancies and things that you hear of in terms of like their own personal fidelity and stuff like that. None of that with Malcolm, man.
Mm-mm.
Malcolm was he was a straight arrow, man. He's a straight arrow
Yes.
for all that we know about him.
I think that, like you said, there's freedom in books. I think one narrative is that men don't read, or black men don't read, or black people, whatever it is. Man, reading is liberating. I would never speak to Alex Haley. I would never speak
Mm,
to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I would never speak to some of these other. Well, Kareem's not an author, but obviously he has books out. But I would never
mm-hmm.
speak to these people, but they can speak to me.
Yeah, yeah,
How would I
yeah,
ever speak to Alex Haley through his book? He's going to talk to me.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he has another book called "The Search for Roots in America," something like that. Just type in Alex Haley, "The Search for Roots in America," something like that. But it's about his discovery of his family lineage.
Mm.
And oh my goodness, I read that this year, man. That was such a dope book. I never even heard of it,
Me
but
neither. I haven't heard of
somehow
it.
never heard of it. Somehow I saw it. And I said, well, let me check it out. Oh my goodness, when I say awesome, to where he went back to Africa, to where he's with this tribe and they're telling him everything about his last name. Well, if
Mm.
your last name is this, then your people must have been over here. And
Yeah,
this is what your
yeah,
people were like. And this is, you know what I mean? I thought that was so cool, but how would I
yeah,
ever know that if I didn't pick that book up?
yeah. Inspiring. All right, so with the 2 minutes that we got left, you wrote a book. Tell us a little bit about your book, because the link to purchase your book on Amazon is in the description, folks. I definitely encourage you to go support this good brother here. But tell us a little bit about your book, and also in that same breath, tell us a little bit about the courses that you have on Skillshare.
So the book is called The 10 Money Commandments, and it's a small, quick read. It's just about 10 different commandments about money. In the Black community, we always say that we don't have money. Well, these are some steps that you can take to do better with the money that you do have. I work in the education system. So people will say, well, Tim, they don't make a lot of money. Well, let's talk about the things that I've been able to do, or me and my wife have been able to do together with the money that we do have. I saw a stat once that said that people spend more time choosing their outfit than they do on their finances. That
Wow.
makes zero sense to me because money
Wow.
is so important. It's not everything, but it allows you to do different things. It allows you to take care of your family, put your child in this daycare, this school, or whatever it may be, groceries,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. So money is definitely important. I think that we need to take more of an initiative to actually talk about money and do something with the money that we do have. The courses are along the same line on Skillshare. The courses are about money. These are some of the steps that you can take in regards to money. I'm actually working on another course right now in regards to budgeting because we need to learn how to budget and then actually follow our budget. I'm talking about credit cards. I'm talking about credit. I'm talking about the credit bureaus. I'm talking about so many different things. Well, only 10 things, actually, 10 things. So it's not that long of a read, but I think it's very important that we talk about money. People are making $100,000 and broke. Families
Yeah.
making $200,000, but they're spending $200,000. So in 10 years, if they lose their job, they're done.
So, not to be confused with Notorious B.I.G.'s crack commandments, these are the 10 commandments to the 10 money commandments.
The money
Um,
commandments, yes, sir.
yeah, all right. So, the link for both the courses, guys, are in the description. Definitely go check bro out. And listen, if you buy the book or if you purchase or download the course, let bro know where you got it from. Let him know. That coming on the show was helpful in that way for you. So, man, bro, I appreciate you so much, man. I got such just a huge amount of respect and admiration for not only who you are as a man, but all that you represent just in the spaces you exist in, in the world of education, all the mentorship stuff that I see that you do, and even how we even got initially connected was through like a mentorship program for young ladies, and we were on a panel together. And so you've been consistent in this work for such a long time. So I appreciate you, bro. Just kind of taking some time out your night to get on the pod. I definitely would love to have you back in the future, especially when you finish writing the other book that you alluded to come back on and talk to us about it. And we can make the whole show just about that book and just kind of promotion of it, man, because the spirit of the show is to enlighten, educate, and empower every human being to be the expert version of themselves. And so everything that you embody it hits the bullseye like right on the mark, man. So thank you, thank you, thank you, good brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, man. God bless you, bro. Thank you. Any last things before we go? Any last word from you?
People, be happy. Find out whatever that happiness is and find it. I promise life is great.
There we go. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share the show. If you like content like this, please let me know. We need encouragement. We need to know that there's an appetite out in our spaces for these type of conversations that hopefully can inspire and educate everyone listen. And so thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Expert Human Pod. See y'all next week. Peace.